Welcome guys, it is Interclub Racing once again here at SARCO. We've been challenged by On The Limit Community Racing to an 8 vs 8 team 6-week championship happening every second week. We've basically broken up each of the events in a 2 race consisting of 8 laps and a 16 lap, with both races having a 5-minute qualifying. The drivers from SARCO are chosen off the total drivers championship standings. So sit back and catch all the action of race 1 and 2 as we race at Sportsland Sugo in Japan. Enjoy. Before we get going on the actual grid, SARCO is in the green colors with On The Limit in the white blue with pink trim. The starting lineup, 16th place is a Shake and Bake, and he's alongside a newcomer Jacques for the SARCO team in 15th. Row 7 is an all-SARCO event with Gerard, he's in 14th, and he's alongside our Scottish international Ross in 13th place. Row 6, in 12th position we have Colin, newcomer to the SARCO team. He's alongside Craig in 11th, who's also representing SARCO. Row number 5, in 10th place is Dano, and he's alongside L111 POD, representing On The Limit. Row 4, in 8th place is Super F150 Ford. He is alongside Bruno, representing SARCO in 7th. Row number 3, Marius, he represents SARCO for the first time. He's in 6th place, and he's alongside the 5th position Gatarzan, representing On The Limit. Row 2, in 4th place is White Rider, representing On The Limit, and he is next to Naughty Nick in 3rd. Nick also, he's representing On The Limit. Front row in 2nd place, Jake's representing SARCO. He was outdone there by Danny by On The Limit right in the end there, and Danny, he starts up in pole position. Green lights and off they go here at race number 1. Jace has got a good start. He's moved to the inside. Dandy has to let him go. Well, that's Naughty Nick. He's bumped into Dandy, and that's Morris here. Unfortunately, he touches White Rider going through there. But that's Jakes. He's away up front. Managed to get the overtake going into turn number 1. We see Gatarzan. He's up to 2nd place, starting 5th on the grid. L111, he was in 3rd. He's from 9th. We have Craig. He's in 4th place, up from 9th place. We'll see a little spin in the background there as the drivers come here to High Point and prepare to go down Rainbow. On board with Craig as he comes down the back stretch. In front of him, LL11 POD. Go through the little backstretch corner, then hard on the brakes here into horseback. Well, it looks like he'd gone a little bit wide. Will Craig have the inside line here? As I go to SBN, he seems to have just cut off that line and not allowing Craig to get past through SP out. Well, that was Gatarzan up in 2nd place. He ran himself a little bit wide, coming out SP out as they come around the 110R. Jakes will cross the line to begin his 2nd lap. Well, that's Craig. He's moved himself up a position. He's moved himself to 3rd place. Jakes, he currently leads. L111 POD, he's in 2nd place. Craig is in 3rd. Gatarzan, he's dropped down to 4th place, having been in 2nd. Morris, he's in 5th, having started 6th on the grid. Colin, he's up to 6th place. That is Gerard, he's in 7th. Ross is 8th. Well, L11 POD, he ran a little bit wide there. We'll see some guys running off at the background. That's Dano, he's in 9th place. White Rider, he's in 10th. Dandy, he's 11th. Jacques, he's in 12th place with Nick. He's now dropped down to 13th. Jacques is up to 13th. Nick is down to 14th place. That's Super Ford, he's down in 15th, and that is a Shake and Bake up to 15. See, very congested here, coming to the end of lap number 2. Drivers just hustling for position as they cross the line. We see there's a stopped car in the middle of the track there. That's Bruno. He unfortunately disconnects. Well, a little contact between the two SARCO drivers as it went into turn number 1. Lots of lag currently being experienced here in this replay, but we can see how close the drivers all are as they go through. Here we chase Nick as the drivers prepare to go around hairpin curve. Well, a little contact there, must have been a little bit of lag. You can see the cars bouncing around through the S-shaped curve, and then up through high point. Well, one of the SARCO drivers running himself a little bit wide. That's allowed. Oh, that was a big impact there. That was definitely lag. Unfortunately, one of the on the limit drivers, he's forced off the road. Definitely lag happening here. Great move there by Colin on the inside. Well, unfortunately he pushes him wide, and more contact between the two on the limit drivers. Coming to the end of lap number 3, Dandy, he's currently in 6th, having started in pole position, was unfortunately clipped going into turn number 1. Ross, he's following Dandy going up the back straight here. Ross currently in 7th place, and he started in 13th, ready, looking good here. Still heavily congested here in the middle of the pack. In shot, that's Colin, he's currently 7th with Carrot behind him. That's White Rider, he's currently in 9th place. Jacques in 10th, and then Super Ford, he's moved himself up to 11th place. As they go around hairpin curve to prepare for the S-shaped curve. Lots of lag still. You can see that the cars are not smooth around the corner, but this is the first time we've actually raced against on the limit, and I'm sure we'll be able to get our line sorted out for the next race on the 1st of July. Little look on the inside. Oh, unfortunately they've run each other slightly wide there. On the limit, he's managed to take that position. He's moved himself up, and he'll hold that place coming out of SP out. Lap number 5, and the battle here for 8th, 9th, 10th and 11th is still very much on. That's Colin, he leads this battle with White Rider behind him as they go at SP out. So jockeying for positions. That's Carrot in the green car. That's Super Ford. He might have got a little run on Carrot here as they prepare to go through backstretch corner. Hard on the brakes into this horseback corner. All 4 drivers, a little touch there for Gerard against White Rider, going through SPN. Through SP out. That's White Rider, he's gone around the outside of Colin. Back up the hill. That's White Rider still on the outside. He'll move himself ahead of Colin, and to begin lap number 6. The 2 OTL drivers, Gutarzan and Dandy, currently in 4th and 5th. And in the background we just see the SARCO cars going past. Currently SARCO is 1, 2 and 3. Then on the limit is 4 and 5 with another SARCO driver in 6th place. Well, that was Gutarzan. He must have got a little bit of a speed penalty, and he allowed Dandy to go past, or he might have been playing a little bit of team orders there. Race leader Jake starts his 7th lap after making the move on Dandy going into turn number 1. He's led from that corner and is really looking strong here. 3rd place driver Marius has moved across from White Knuckle Sim Racing to join us for this event. Coming out of SP out. Oh, he's touched the curb, he's lost the rear. That's unfortunately spun him around. That will now drop him to 4th, down to 5th, down to 6th. Very unfortunate there for Marius. fifth place. Ross, oh, that's Guitars, and he's run himself a little bit wide. Still coming through the hairpin. Ross will find his way through the inside there, and Ross will move himself up into fifth position. Our race winner, Jakes, he will cross the line to finish first. Craig will come home in second. Dandy will finish in third. Ross will come home in fourth with Gutarzan in fifth. Marius will finish sixth with Gerard in seventh. Colin will come home in eighth with White Rider in ninth. Shake and Bake will finish 10th with Super Ford in 11th. Dano will finish 12th with Jacques in 13th place. Nick will come home in 14th with LL11 POD. Well, let me try that again. L111 POD will finish 15th with, unfortunately, Bruno disconnecting. It is time for race number 2. This is a 15-lap race with a 5-minute qualifying. The starting lineup for race number 2, Jacques, he drops down 1 place down to 16th. Colin, he moves down 3 places from his first qualifying to 15th. Gerard, he's in the same place in 14th, and he's alongside L111 POD, who drops down 4 places in 13th place. Ross, he moves up 1 place to 12th, and Shake and Bake, he improves on his 16th, and he moves himself in 11th. Dano, he's in the same place in row number 5 in 10th place, and he's alongside Craig, who improves 1 position. Row number 4 and Super F150, he's in the same place in 8th position, and he's alongside Gutarzan, who drops down 2 places in 7th place. Bruno, he improves on his previous race, and he starts off 6th. With Marius, he moves himself up into 5th place. In 4th place, Nick and White Rider, they swap. Nick starts off in 4th, and he's alongside White Rider in 3rd place. And row number 1 is unchanged. Jakes, he's in 2nd with Dandy once again in pole position. It is race time here at race number 2. And Jakes, he comes off the line extremely quickly. Moves himself into the inside, and he gets that position back from Dandy. As they go around the turn number 2, that's Dandy, he's now moved himself into the inside, going into the 3rd corner. Dandy, he's held his lead this time around, unfortunately having lost that lead to Jakes in race number 1. But he's currently on the limit 1, SARCO 2, on the limit 3, 4, SARCO 4, 5, then on the limit 6, 7 and 8. Coming out of the rainbow corner. Seems to be a sea of green in the middle field there. There must have been something that happened further down the track as they come around horseback. Oh my gosh, there's a huge spin there. We'll have to go back and see what happened there. So looking at the replay, we see White Rider, he's coming a little bit too hot going into horseback corner. Unfortunately, he loses the rear, coming back onto the power. That's his teammate Nick, who gives him a little bump, sends him for a little flight, and Marius, unfortunately, he clips him going past, and that just extends his flight plan. The race leader Dandy, as he comes to begin his lap number 2, we pan around and we see there's Jakes hot on his heels coming into turn number 1. Dandy was able to go through there quite cleanly, jump on board. See Jakes very much in the mirror of Dandy coming through the hairpin curve. Jump on the bonnet with Jakes. Coming through Harpin corner into Rainbow. Oh, little contact between the 2 drivers. That's unfortunately spun Jakes. He's gone off and he'll have to regroup. There's the race leader Dandy, he's in 1st place. That's Jakes in 2nd, Craig's in 3rd. That's Naughty Nick currently in 4th place. Coming through a backstretch corner, preparing for horseback. Nick's going to have a look on the inside. No, unfortunately not close enough to see if he can get the overtake on Craig. SP out and preparing for the R110. Nick will tuck in here behind Craig. Well, he's been able to move himself to the right hand side. Good old fashioned drag race down the main straight into turn number 1. Oh, Craig goes very aggressive into that corner, and he does concede. Nick does get that place from Craig, but Craig comes back and he goes around the outside. So Craig moving himself back into 3rd place. Up to High Point corner. Nick still hot on the heels of Craig. Going around Rainbow. Let's see if Nick will have the run down on Craig coming down through the backstretch. Nick moves to the inside. Yes, he's used the slipstream to his advantage. Just squeezes Craig out a little bit. And he has now set himself up for SPN on the inside. And he will take that position from Craig. So in shot, that's Nick and Craig. The positions currently is Dandy's first, Jake's is second, Nick is in third, Craig is fourth, Morris is in fifth, Shake and Bake, he's currently sixth, Super Ford, he's in 7th place, Karot, he's in 8th, Ross is in 9th, Jacques, he's currently in 10th place, and unfortunately starting to lose the track of where the drivers are. We'll just have to keep looking at the action and make it up from there. We're chasing Shake and Bake as he heads down the backstretch corner into Horseback. Ahead of him, that's Super Ford. Ahead of Super Ford is Marius coming through SPN. Through SP out. Just pan around just to see who's behind him. Fortunately, he has pulled a bit of a gap ahead of Karot. Karot currently in 8th place. Back over the hill, and they'll be beginning their 5th lap. That's Naughty Nick. He's currently in 3rd place. Behind him the 2 SARCO drivers of Craig and Marius. And just ahead there, we saw that was Jakes and Dandy. Dandy still leading this race here on lap number 6. Race leader Dandy closely followed by Jakes. Through SP out. See Jakes starting to make way here on Dandy after having spun coming out of the Rainbow corner a couple of laps earlier. And Dandy will cross the line to begin his 7th lap. We see in the background there the stopped car on the left hand side of the screen. That was Bruno. I originally thought that Bruno had disconnected, but unfortunately the replay had not picked him up, but he did complete in both the races. And he did score points for SARCO. We jump on board with Shake and Bake. Ahead of him is Morris and Craig. Unfortunately, I'm not too sure who's in which position. Heading up the hill as they go around High Point corner and coming down Rainbow. Shake and Bake will, unfortunately getting a little bit too wide on that curve and not getting that drive that he needed to come down the back straight. Will he have a look on the inside going into the corner? No, he does not. Flames flying in his face. Shake and Bake's got a great drive coming out of that corner. Fortunately a little bit wide, or grabs a little bit of the dirt on the outside, just throws the car. Let's see if we'll be able to tuck in behind coming out of this 110R. The car revving to the maximum forward, changing those gears to get the power to come up this hill, past the start finish line, then hard on the brakes into the first corner. These two drivers very evenly contested here, with Craig, he's currently still in 4th place, Morris is in 5th, and on board the Shake and Bake in 6th position. Look at the inside, but not enough space there. Getting right up behind him, taking a lot of that curb. It's quite dangerous to do that. Definitely unsettles that car when you're trying to get that power back on. Through Rainbow, it's a much better exit compared to the previous lap. Giving a couple of flashing of the lights there, just to show Marius that he's going to have a look on the inside. That's a great overtake. Managed to make that stick. We see Marius in the rearview mirror there. Shake and Bake has now moved himself up into 5th position. Lap number 11. This is the battle here for 1st, 2nd and 3rd as the sun starts going down here at Sportsland Sugo. Dandy, he still leads with Jake 2nd. Nick, he is currently in 3rd. Craig, he's in 4th. Marius, he's in 5th, and Shake and Bake is in 6th. And unfortunately the cars are all out of positions further down the field, and we're not able to get a true reflection of those positions. But we'll just keep the action here. Nick giving a little flash to Jake, showing his intent to overtake. As they go through backstretch corner, Nick has a little look on the inside. Oh, it looks like he might have clipped Jake's. We'll have to go back and see what happened there, see if there was contact. So having a look at the replay, unfortunately it's not conclusive to see if there was any contact there coming into horseback corner. Jake's doing a sterling job to try and catch that slide going around the corner, but unfortunately as soon as a car gets its rear grip, that will just flick him off the other side. The race leader in shot, that's Dandy. He will cross the line and he will win in 1st position. Nick will come home in 2nd, followed by Craig in 3rd. Jakes will come home in 4th with Marius in 5th. Bruno will finish 6th. Shake and Bake will come home in 7th with Ross 8th. L111 POD will finish 9th. Super F150 Ford, he will come home in 10th with White Rider in 11th place. Jacques will come home in 12th. Dana will finish in 13th with Gutarzan in 14th. Carrot will come home in 15th. And Colin will finish in 16th position. Thank you guys, I hope you enjoyed watching the replays. Quick look at the standings. After race 1, SARCO will score 141 points, with both Marius and Colin unfortunately getting 5-second penalties for incidents. On the limit, they will score 81 points in race 1. Having a look at race 2, SARCO scores 110 points versus on the limit for 112. That leaves a grand total of 251 for SARCO against 193 for on the limit. Hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, give us a like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon for round number 2. Thanks for watching, yos.